Hello YouTube, as promised, welcome to my laser cutter build log, part 1. Today I'm going to be mounting 4 of these lead screws on all 4 corners for the laser bed, and be cutting some mounting plates for the stepper motors that will be underneath. Let's get started.
So, to start off, I'll be cutting the mounting plates for the stepper motors. And for that, I'll be using my DIY CNC milling machine. Now, don't ask me what kind of material this is. It's kind of brittle, but it will do for this, as it is very easy and fast to cut and has the right thickness of 12 millimeters. For the first operation, I'm using a 1/8 inch or 3.175 millimeter single flute cutter for all the drilling and pockets. And as the machine isn't that sturdy, I'll be running the machine with a feed rate of 600 millimeters per minute and with the spindle running at 8000 RPM, which seems to work pretty well. While the machine is cutting, I'll quickly show you how I planned this with my laser cutter design model in SketchUp. It's not quite up to date, but the things here are down to the millimeter, so I use it to see if things fit more accurately before actually making them. So here's the laser bed, and this is where I'm mounting the lead screw. And with a small hole in the bottom of the MDF plate, the lead screw will continue down under the machine where I will have the stepper mounted. Now that the machine is done with the first operation, I'll change the cutter to my favorite 6mm single flute that has a cutting length of 42mm. I'll still keep the speed of the machine at 600mm per minute, but at a lower 7000 RPM on the spindle, as this cutter is wider in diameter and will also be cutting deeper on each pass. While the machine is cutting, I will start mounting the lead screw to the laser cutter. I measured the lead screw from my test stand so I could get the exact distance from the aluminum profile. I then marked the drilling spot and then found out my drill couldn't fit in order to drill a straight hole. So I took my Dremel tool with an extension cable on and drilled all the way through so I could drill it with a 10mm drilling bit from the bottom. With the hole drilled, I could finally attach the lead screw to the top and bottom aluminum profile, aligning it as close to center of the hole as possible. I will probably need to adjust the top part as the laser bed gets installed later, cause even with a slight angle the laser bed will be forced in either X or Y direction, which will cause inaccuracy in the laser cutting if the bed gets lowered or heightened between laser operations. With that done, let's get back to the CNC machine. Now, I put some holding tabs in the plates so the CNC could cut all by itself without me needing to hold the pieces during the last cut, as this is also dangerous if you're not careful. Believe me, I know. As you can see, the holding tabs are very easy to file away as the material isn't that strong. Next thing to do is drilling some holes into the side of 2 of the parts and then thread them. Before I chose this material, I did a pre-test for threading M3 screws to see if it was possible, and it turned out great. That was on a scrap piece. This, however, was almost impossible to do a M3 size threading, so before I continued, I drilled the hole wider and threaded with an M4 size instead, which was a lot more easy. It must be different batches of the material, or just me being lucky the first time I tested. With that done, I test fitted the stepper motor to the mount with some screws that I shortened, and it seemed to work pretty well. Now I could finally attach the first mounting plate, but first needed to pre-drill some holes as this is MDF wood. I first marked and drilled one hole and screwed it in place so it would hold the plate tight when marking the other holes. Then drilled those as well, put on the second plate and screwed everything tight. With the final plate, I just needed to get the coupling in between and set the correct height and fasten. It's not 100% aligned, but it will do, as the coupling has some flexibility. In the next part, I'll be designing some brackets to connect the lead screw nut to the laser bed. And if the 4 9mm linear rails that I ordered from Aliexpress arrive before then, I'll include the mounting and designing of the brackets for those as well. Links for the lead screw and linear rails that I bought are in the description down below. Thank you for watching, and make sure to check out my previous video where I show and tell how the laser cutter was built up to this point, as this build log just started. If you have any questions, put it in the comments section below, and I will try and answer them best to my knowledge. Like if you liked this video, share if you found this worth sharing, and subscribe if you want to follow this build log or see some of the other great things we do here at InventorsFactory. Doing any of the above would really help us out. Till next time, bye.